Yes, how much time do I have?
Other people have taken more than 10 minutes, so you should as well. But let's say 12 or 15.
Oh, okay, 12 or 15 is fine. First, I want to thank everyone here. Starting with you, Henry, because to put together a venue like this is rather rare. Been around almost 40 years around the tradition, and these venues are rare, so thank you, Henry. Number two, Liza, wherever you are, thank you very much.
Hi, Graham.
Hi, Liza. We worked together 20 some odd years ago, but you're getting better and better to put in a small time frame, a context to lay ground for the better things to come. Which I must thank Grand Roi, merci beaucoup, Grand Roi. This, folks, I've never seen done in a public forum. Vevey for insulin. This is very special, all right? So feel very special here, okay? Lillian, your perspectives are very important. And Isoke, yours too, valuable. You're hearing different perspectives that have value. And last but not least, thank you as an audience. You've been giving undivided attention, what, for two and a half hours?
For like a week and a half.
Yeah. And you're at the edge of your seats. I don't see anybody nodding off, so I want to thank you. Moving right along, I want to just give a very brief history of myself, because it paints a larger picture and you need historical context. Two ways I came to embracing African spirituality. My grand aunt from Puerto Rico was an espiritista, a spiritist, an Afro-Puerto Rican woman who, within the espiritista context, was able to preserve African spirituality. Within Puerto Rico, there was enough oppression to want to blot out African spirituality, and a lot of that was stepped up after the Haitian Revolution, because at that time Puerto Rico was about 50% African ancestors, people of African ancestry. And the Spaniards looked at Haiti, and they looked at Cuba, and they looked at the Dominican Republic, and Colombia, Venezuela, and said Haiti was too much of a role model. So they put the squeeze on demonizing African spirituality, and they went about to whiten the society by bringing a lot of the poor Spaniards over and encouraging intermarriage. All right? So having said all of that, my aunt, matriarch, preserved African spirituality through the espiritista model. I was exposed to that as a baby. Then, during the 60s, many in the Puerto Rican community held the Afro-Cuban community as a role model. Especially when it came to the preservation of the African spirituality. As young men, growing up in the 60s, Afro-Cuban drumming was part of our life. So we played rumba, guanco, and all of the rhythms in the streets of the South Bronx and Spanish Harlem. And that was a second level of entry. That's where music is important, brother. Hope you're paying attention. That's where that, as a portal of entry to the larger world of African spirituality, okay? So I wanted to paint that picture for you in terms of historical context. Third, and I'm going to close with this, some closing thoughts. Just bear with me, I even wrote them down here. One is, please, as educators, you've heard some of the best here. You want to see the value of African spirituality, not just through the religious traditions, but the larger context of African spirituality. Why? Because we're always juxtaposed with the Abrahamic faiths, the big three. And we're categorized as other. So most of this country's culture doesn't even have us on the radar, except what Hollywood portrays. But you have actually a responsibility now to articulate the value of African spirituality. The value. Not Hollywood, but the value. Why is value important? Let's turn on the television and the internet and look at current events. How many of us sleep well these days because of current events? You feel me, right? Now, I hope I'm not politically incorrect. Where is the African spirituality in the context of the wars going on? No, you hear the big three duking it out politically and economically, right? Okay, so what I'm saying is the human condition, we have a lot to contribute. And we don't advocate war. If we look closely, the war we are battling right now to preserve our faith and traditions is really to uplift the human condition and heal historical trauma. Heal historical trauma. Okay? When my own ancestors looked at their faces in the mirror and they wanted to whiten consecutive generations intermarry, so this African features were just kind of like, that was the design of the Spaniards, because they looked at Haiti and said, no, one of the attributes of winning the Haitian Revolution was negritude, a pride of blackness. The Spaniards said, no, we'll take the new Iberian model. When the Moors ran Spain, it was intermarriage between Jews, Christians, and Muslims. So they said, wow, intermarry in Spanish America, so negritude will never be an issue. So, fast forward, our traditions provide a very good model for healing historical trauma. And every ethnic group on the planet has experienced some historical trauma. Not just the victims, but the victors. So here we are, 2014, there's a lot of healing to do. And as we put on the television, there's a lot more healing to do. So our traditions contribute value to the human condition globally. And please, the educators here who take their time, you're not getting paid for this. This is our work. You want to stay in contact with us. You want to stay in contact with the Interfaith Center of New York for the resources we have here, all of us have here. So that, and the last point, because Ifa is God's words. And right now, I'm half possessed. Yes, I'm inspired. I'm in sync with the Rumilano Batala. I'm in sync. Synchronization. God's words. God's words expressed through operational language. Who uses operational language the best is educators. See? Before the marketers and corporations get it and add their marketing twist, let's us as educators use the power of the spoken word. So we're working with young people. You know how powerful your words are. So spirit possession and then synchronization with higher power. There's two ways to say the same thing. Hollywood does a lot of demonization and marginalization and othering with language. So can we upgrade our languaging and use operational language that's more accurate, that gives more value to our traditions, our spirituality, so that the subsequent generation that you're working with right now don't look at us as the other. They look at us as allies, because we got a hell of a work. You know, we're working towards sustainability and ecological balance, and a host of other issues that our subsequent generations have a lot to take care of. See? So I hope that resonates with all of you. And I'm finished. I feel blessed to be part of this group. And let's move on.